Welcome to Grammar Hacks, the podcast that unscrambles the mysteries of English and makes your words work for you. I'm Adam.
And I'm Sarah. Thanks for tuning in.
We're so excited you're here because today we're kicking off a brand new series of grammar hacks. And for our very first episode in this new run, episode 6 overall, we're unlocking a writing superpower, parallel structure power.
That's right. Picture this, folks. You walk by a local bakery and a sign in the window proudly proclaims, "Our cakes are delicious, freshly baked, and happiness."
Wait, what? Is happiness a new secret ingredient I haven't heard about? Or did they run out of adjectives?
That little bit of awkwardness, that slight mental stumble you just did, that's often the calling card of a sentence missing its parallel power.
Exactly. Ever wanted your sentences to flow like a smooth river instead of a bumpy cart ride down a cobblestone street?
Or make your points so clear and memorable they stick in people's minds like their favorite song? That feeling when you read something and it just clicks because it's so well put together?
Well, parallel structure is your secret weapon for achieving just that. By the end of this episode, you'll know how to spot it, how to use it to make your writing sing, and, importantly, how to fix it when it goes a little wonky.
All right, let's get down to it. Speaker, in simple terms, what exactly is this magical parallel structure we're talking about?
Think of it like this. Parallel structure, or parallelism, as it's also called, means using the same grammatical pattern for similar ideas or items in a sentence. It's all about balance and consistency. It creates a sense of harmony in your writing, making it easier for the reader's brain to process the information.
So, if you start with an ing word for one item in a list, like running, you stick with ing words for the others, like jumping and swimming.
Precisely. It's like matching your socks. You wouldn't usually wear one sporty athletic sock and one fluffy patterned slipper on the other foot, right? Well, maybe some of us have those days, but generally, for a polished look, you want them to match. Parallelism gives your sentences that polished, coherent feel.
I love a good analogy. How else can we picture this? It helps to have a few different ways to think about these grammar concepts.
Okay, how about this? Imagine you're building with Legos. To make a strong, stable, and good-looking wall, you line up the bricks in a consistent way, right? You don't just jam them together haphazardly. Parallel structure does that for your sentences. It lines up the grammatical bricks neatly, making your sentences strong, clear, and well-organized.
Legos. I like that. Easy to visualize. Any others?
Or think of a synchronized swimming team. They all perform the same moves, in the same way, at the same time, creating this beautiful, harmonious, and really impressive effect. That's what parallel parts in a sentence do. They work together in harmony.
Okay, matching socks, Legos, synchronized swimmers. I think I'm getting the what. But why is it so important, speaker? Why should our listeners bother mastering this?
Oh, it's a total game changer for your communication, and for a few key reasons. Firstly, and this is a big one, clarity. Parallelism makes your writing and speaking so much easier to understand. When ideas are presented in a consistent format, your audience can follow your train of thought smoothly without getting bogged down by awkward or confusing constructions. Their brains don't have to work overtime to figure out how the pieces fit together.
No more head-scratching moments for your audience. I like the sound of that. It's like paving a smooth road for their understanding.
Rhythm and punch. Sentences with parallel structure just sound better. They have a pleasing flow, a kind of musicality that can make your message more persuasive, more engaging, and definitely more memorable. Think about powerful speeches. They're often packed with parallelism.
So it's not just about being grammatically correct for the sake of rules. It's about being a more effective communicator. It's like a secret communication power-up that makes people not only understand you better, but also enjoy listening to you or reading what you've written.
Enough talk, let's see some parallel structure in its natural habitat. The easiest place to spot it and use it is in lists.
Lay it on us.
For example, if you're listing nouns, my dog loves walks, treats, and naps. See? Walk, treats, naps, all nouns. Simple, clean, parallel.
Makes sense. What about actions using verbs?
Sure. If you're using infinitives, that's the to form of the verb, keep them all infinitives. For instance, she wants to learn, to grow, and to inspire. All to plus verb.
To learn, to grow, to inspire. Got it. Smooth.
Or if you're using gerunds, those are the ing verb forms that act like nouns. Running, cycling, and swimming are great exercises. Running, cycling, swimming, all gerunds.
See? Once you know what to look for, it's like those patterns are jumping out at you. And it's not just in simple lists we create every day. Parallelism is the secret sauce, the magic ingredient in some of the most famous and impactful lines ever spoken or written.
Oh, absolutely. It's a cornerstone of powerful rhetoric. Think about Julius Caesar. I came, I saw, I conquered. Or in Latin, veni, vidi, vici. 3 short, punchy verb phrases perfectly parallel. So much impact in so few words.
It's incredibly powerful. Or how about Winston Churchill during World War II, rallying a nation? I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat. 4 strong, single-syllable nouns, all lined up. Imagine if he'd said something clunky like, I have nothing to offer but my blood, also toiling, the tears I might cry, and some perspiration.
Definitely doesn't have the same monumental ring to it, does it? The parallelism in the original gives it that unforgettable rhythm and force. And you can't talk about powerful parallelism without mentioning Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. His speeches are absolute masterclasses.
Definitely. Phrases like, let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. That repetition of let freedom ring from, that's a type of parallelism called anaphora, where you repeat a word or phrase at the beginning of successive clauses. It builds incredible power and emotion. It creates an expectation and a rhythm that draws the listener in.
It really does. And speaking of things not having the same ring, I once saw a dating profile that said, my interests include hiking in mountains, to read good books, and my cat Fluffy.
Wait, is Fluffy an activity now? Or is Fluffy being equated with hiking and reading? That's a classic case of mixed up items. We'll get to fixing those kinds of sentences later, but it just shows how easily faulty parallelism can sneak in and make things sound, well, a bit off. Now that we've seen the heroes, those beautifully balanced, impactful parallel sentences, it's time to meet the villain of our story.
Oh no, faulty parallelism is what happens when you try to connect similar ideas, but their grammatical outfits don't match. It's like sending your ideas to a fancy dress party, but one shows up in a tuxedo, another in a clown suit, and a third in pajamas. They just sound awkward, confusing, and sometimes unintentionally hilarious. Like that dating profile we just mentioned. They just sound clunky.
So let's unmask this villain. What are some of the common blunders, the usual suspects, when it comes to faulty parallelism?
Great question. One of the most common is mismatched items in a list. This is where you start a list with one type of grammatical structure and then switch partway through.
Give us an example of this list limbo.
Okay, how about my weekend plans include sleeping in, to watch movies, and I will also eat pizza.
Whoa, that's a grammatical fruit salad. We have a gerund, like sleeping in, then an infinitive, to watch movies, and then a whole independent clause, I will also eat pizza. It feels disjointed.
Exactly. To make them play nice and achieve that smooth parallel flow, you need to pick one style and stick to it for all the items. For instance, using all gerunds. My weekend plans include sleeping in, watching movies, and eating pizza. Much better. Can you hear the difference?
Definitely. Or you could use all infinitives. My weekend plans include to sleep in, to watch movies, and to eat pizza. Consistency is key.
Another trouble spot is with coordinating conjunctions. You might know them by the acronym FANBOYS, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. These little connectors need balance on both sides.
So a faulty example might be, the weather was sunny, warm, and brought a lot of joy.
Precisely. Sunny and warm are adjectives, but brought a lot of joy is a verb phrase. It throws off the balance. To fix it, you could make all parts adjectives. The weather was sunny, warm, and joyful. Or you could make two parallel clauses. The weather was sunny and warm, and it brought a lot of joy.
Okay, that makes sense. What about those tricky pairs, correlative conjunctions, like either or, neither nor, not only but also? They always seem to trip people up.
They do. Because they come in pairs, what follows each part of the pair must be grammatically the same. It's like they create a little equation and both sides need to match.
So a faulty one would be, you can either text me or calling my phone. I can hear the clunkiness there. Text me is a verb phrase, but calling my phone starts with a gerund.
You got it. To fix it, make them match. You can either text me or call my phone. Now both are verb phrases. Or if you prefer gerunds, you can use either texting or calling. A great tip is to literally look at the word or phrase immediately following the first part of the pair, like either, and make sure the word or phrase following the second part, like or, has the exact same grammatical structure.
That's a super helpful way to check. And finally, what about in comparisons when we use words like than or as?
Yes, the comparison trap. When you compare things using than or as, you need to make sure you're comparing apples to apples, not apples to, say, apple pie recipes. The items being compared should be grammatically parallel.
So a classic faulty example is, swimming in the ocean is much tougher than a pool. That's literally comparing an action, swimming in the ocean, to a thing, a pool.
Exactly. It doesn't quite make sense. The corrected parallel version would be, swimming in the ocean is much tougher than swimming in a pool. Now we're logically comparing one action, swimming in the ocean, to another similar action, swimming in a pool. This might seem like a lot to remember, but it often comes down to developing an ear for it. If a sentence sounds a bit off or clunky, faulty parallelism might be the culprit. We can even boil down the fixes. Listeners, imagine a little cheat sheet.
Ooh, a quick fix guide. I like it.
Problem Area 1. Lists. The fix? Make all items in your list the same part of speech or the same verb form. So all nouns, or all ing verbs, or all to verbs.
Problem Area 2, fanboys, and but or. The fix? Ensure the grammatical structure on one side of the fanboy mirrors the structure on the other side.
Problem Area 3. Paired conjunctions, like either or, not only but also. The fix? What follows the first part of the pair must grammatically match what follows the second part. No exceptions.
Problem Area 4, comparisons, using than, as. The fix, make sure you're comparing like with like, actions to actions, things to things, qualities to qualities.
That's a great summary. And for everyone listening, grammarhacks.com, we have a summary of this too, so you can refer back to it anytime.
Okay, grammar hackers, are you ready to put your new parallel power to the test? It's practice time.
We're going to give you a sentence that's a little wobbly. Your job is to listen, spot the faulty parallelism, and think about how you'd fix it. We'll give you a few seconds of thinking time, then we'll share a corrected version. Ready?
Sentence number 1. The new intern is enthusiastic, a hard worker, and shows up on time.
All right, what did you come up with? That one had an adjective, enthusiastic, then a noun phrase, a hard worker, and then a verb phrase, shows up on time, all trying to be friends in the same list. Here's one way to fix it using all adjectives. The new intern is enthusiastic, hardworking, and punctual.
Nice and smooth. Now let's say that corrected version together. Repeat after me. The new intern is enthusiastic, hardworking, and punctual.
Excellent. Ready for another? Sentence number 2. The coach told the players that they should get a lot of sleep, that they should not eat junk food, and to do their exercises.
That one was a bit trickier. We had 2 clauses starting with that they should, and then it switched to an infinitive phrase, to do. A good fix would be to make all parts consistent after should. The coach told the players that they should get a lot of sleep, not eat junk food, and do their exercises.
Much better. Let's repeat that smooth version together. The coach told the players that they should get a lot of sleep, not eat junk food, and do their exercises.
Fantastic. Last one for today. This one involves those correlative conjunctions. Sentence number 3. The project was not only challenging, but also it was rewarding.
This is a classic not only but also trap. Remember, what follows not only should grammatically match what follows but also. So, the fix is, the project was not only challenging but also rewarding. Now both challenging and rewarding are adjectives, perfectly parallel.
Perfect. Let's say it together. The project was not only challenging, but also rewarding. Great job, everyone. You're well on your way to becoming parallel structure pros.
And just like that, you've added parallel structure power to your grammar toolkit. Remember, the core idea is all about creating balance, rhythm, and clarity by using the same grammatical patterns for similar ideas in your sentences.
It really does make your writing and speaking clearer, more stylish, and way more impactful. No more wobbly, confusing sentences for you. You'll find your ideas land with more precision and power.
So our challenge to you, this week, grammar hackers, is to be a parallelism detective. Listen for it in speeches you hear, spot it in books or articles you read, and most importantly, try consciously using it in your own emails, reports, social media posts, or even just when you're talking to friends.
That's all for this episode, our very first in the new series of Grammar Hacks. If you loved unlocking this grammar superpower and want to keep leveling up your language skills with us, please hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss our next adventure.
And we'd love to hear from you. Share your own parallelism triumphs or any funny fails you encounter with us or drop us a comment.
Until next time, keep your sentences straight and your grammar sharp.